So how is it going, Dank Division? So today's the day the Immortal Lion becomes available to anyone who digitally pre-ordered Modern Warfare 2. Now, I'm not going to judge you if you pre-ordered. I'm not going to judge you if you didn't pre-order. Hell, I'm not going to complain if you guys tell me that I'm an idiot for having already pre-ordered this game. More importantly, let's talk about what you get in the bundle and the thing that has a lot of people talking. Let's do this. Now, I want you to keep this in mind about this bundle. This bundle does not have any special, operator, finishing move, etc. It's just skins, weapons, couple odds and ends, just for pre-ordering the game. And just like with how Woods was in Modern Warfare 2019, and you had it that you had Price as well as Kingsley in Black Ops Cold War, none of the pre-order characters are canon at all. They just happen to be in there just for shits and giggles. Now, let's talk about, of course, the skins. The first one, of course, being the Rough Revolutionary. Now, what is interesting about this is reminiscent of the original skin that we saw dating back to Modern Warfare, the original game. I mean, take a look at this. This takes us all back to that iconic shot that you literally just saw at the beginning of the video, where he just puts a gun right between your eyes and poof, gone in a flash. Now, the next skin, this is the one that we're going to get back to at the midpoint of this video, is Warlord. Now, the reason I'm not going to rotate him around, it is going to involve what is on his right shoulder, but we'll get back to that. Next, of course, it's a nice little NZ. Take a look at this beauty. Now, while the NZ isn't exactly the meta anymore, this thing is not a bad sniper support build. Now, if you know how to control the recoil with this bad boy and you know what you're doing, you could lay down a couple of people. Or if you don't know exactly how to control the recoil, you could level it up and toy with the attachments as is. Now, a gun that I have not been able to get all the attachments just right because I didn't want to take the time to unlock, the MG42. Ladies and gentlemen, pretty much the meta build, with the exception of the SVT-40 scope, this thing is pretty much built to mow people down. There is a reason this was the funny mustache man's buzzsaw. Oh, fuck it. Hitler's buzzsaw. And let's face it, if you know how to control this recoil, and better yet, if you know how to put the bullets between someone's eyes, you can mow down entire squads faster than you can possibly imagine. Now, among the other things, you of course get the player title, the Immortal Lion, which is roughly what Asad pretty much translates to. You of course get the captured on camera charm, which is reminiscent of him being captured on camera both in Modern Warfare in the original timeline as well as Modern Warfare 2019. You then have the Urzikstan Forever emblem, as well as the Second Horseman spray, which is a reference, of course, to the Four Horsemen, which, of course, was Makarov himself, Zakhaev, and I believe there was a Fourth Horseman. And I'd love for you guys to mess with me and tell me who you think the Four Horsemen could be this time around, given that one of the Four Horsemen is already dead in the current timeline. Or maybe he faked his death. You never know. So, last couple of things. We have the Alcatala sticker, which not too bad. And of course, the explosive Charisma calling card. Now, all in all, it's not a bad pre-order bundle. With me being perfectly honest, I still to this day love the Woods one that you got. And I didn't hate the one for Kingsley, but again, the one that came with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, that you got like an M16 that was really old school along with Woods, still to this day the top tier of the list. So now I'm going to give you guys some gameplay, and we're going to be talking about the one particular skin and what's pretty much important about it. So what exactly is so important about this skin? Well, it's all revolving around this nice little symbol that happens to be on his right side. The black cell circle symbol. For those of you who don't know, we saw this symbol way back in Season 5 of Modern Warfare. Yeah, Modern Warfare 2019. That is the symbol, ladies and gentlemen, for the Shadow Company. For those of you who don't remember the original timeline for Modern Warfare, some of you might not have played it, and for that, I do not judge you, because let's face it, there are new people to COD, there are old people to COD, there are people who skipped over games. To sum it up for you, spoiler alert if you haven't played those games, the Shadow Company was a PMC that answered directly to General Shepard, who traced Task Force 141, leading to the death of Ghost, Roach, indirectly leading to the death of Soap, and overall pretty much helps in making sure that World War III starts in the original trilogy. Now, what exactly is so important about this? Well, the Shadow Company being reintroduced in the new timeline has a lot of people curious. We haven't seen Shepard yet, and as far as we know, there are 5 operators to keep our eyes on. So, of course you have Asad, which that begs a lot of questions. If they are going to make Asad Shadow Company, that means that a lot of us aren't going to be able to trust them. Now, what exactly does this mean? Well, let's talk about a few things. First off, in the Demon Dogs, Sparks. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Sparks here. Shane Sparks was actually a former Shadow Company member before eventually leaving and going back to the Demon Dogs and staying there. Now, whether or not this means that he could be pretty much working behind lines and still reporting to the Shadow Company, that still remains to be seen. Now, that's one just to keep an eye on, just because you never know if he's going to betray everyone. The next one we are going to then talk just quickly about is the 3 that we're already well aware of. That, of course, being none other than the actual members of Shadow Company. Let's start off with the most iconic ones. Lurch. Now, for those of you who don't know Lurch, this guy actually does exist in real life and is one of the higher ups of this, second only pretty much to the CEO of this company. Now, having it that Lurch is pretty much the leader, we don't know if he can be trusted. Again, we don't know if Shadow Company can be trusted after the events of the original Modern Warfare games. They could end up betraying again, because we see in the gameplay that was showcased that Shadow Company is working with 141, and the last time that happened, Ghost found a bullet between his ears, and so did Roach. Then, of course, we have none other than this bitch. Now, I have nothing against the actress, I have nothing against the character, but this skin has become a fucking nightmare. And the fact that this is pretty much an ex-Ranger who pretty much backed out of the military and joined right up with Shadow Company and severed ties from the US military, that begs a lot of questions. Okay, how many other people have pretty much severed ties, dishonorably discharged, and left the militaries to join up with Shadow Company? The fact that you have deserters are able to pretty much join up with this group begs a lot of questions. Then, of course, we have Velikan. We don't really know much about Velikan, which begs a lot of questions. What is he? Because we don't even know his real name. At least with Ghost, we knew that his name was Simon Riley, but with Velikan, we don't know much other than that he's just feared. Now, you would think, okay, that's where it stops. That's the last members of the Shadow Company. There's one that it's a blink and you miss it moment. That, of course, is Mace. Now, a lot of you are going, what the fuck is it? He's just wearing a ghost mask. Okay. So the trick is, if you preview him and you watch him rotate for a moment, you'll notice that under the gun barrel is the symbol. But the problem is that no matter how quickly you try to move it, you can barely see it. And if I were to scroll down and we get a nice look at his ass, you can see the black cell thing on the left-hand side. Now, a lot of you are going, okay, that's not the exact same symbol. Well, this nice little skin that came out in Season 3, which anyone who got this skin will say that it's not too bad. It's not exactly a ghillie suit, but it's not exactly not a ghillie suit. This one, you'll actually be able to see the legitimate symbol right there. Yeah, he's part of the Shadow Company. That now means you have Mace, you have Lurch, you have Rose, you have Velikan, as well as Al-Assad, all possessing that insignia, not to mention having Sparks being a former member of Shadow Company? That begs a lot of questions, and I want to hear in that comment section down below. Do you think we can trust Shepard this time? Do you think we can trust the Shadow Company this time? Or should we honestly do what we all did when we played Modern Warfare 2 Remastered? Put a bullet somewhere between Shepard's ears, kill every single Shadow member that we see in a heartbeat. So if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment down below. And as always, don't forget to follow us on our socials. You guys have a wonderful day, night, whatever you're doing. Do it wholeheartedly. And of course, as always, this is Dank Dan, signing off.
Get them to click that subscribe button, Dank. It's the only way we can figure out the numbers. What do the numbers mean, Dank? We're wasting valuable time.